Alrighty, there we go. We are live while sick. Just got over, well, I haven't got over. I'm trying to get over this cold, and I would much rather not be working right now, but you know, these PCs don't build themselves, unfortunately. And when you're a company of one, you gotta do what you gotta do. So just know that if I sound terrible, I feel worse, all right? It's cool. All right. All right, we'll give it a minute, let some people roll in, and then we'll get started. Oh man, it's cold as kicking my butt, you guys. Seriously, I've been on the couch all day until I got here to do this build. What up, Pidgeo? What's up? How we doing? All right, well, because of how crappily I feel, we're just gonna get started, and as people roll in, they're gonna ask questions about what we're building. That's okay, we'll just get into it. So for today's build, this is the Intel Signature PC that is directly available on my website. Oh, something just happened to TikTok? What up, Infinity Glitch? How we doing? My TikTok thing just like froze. Hold on. I think the screen went all gray. Violation warning. Your live is redirecting users to purchase content outside of TikTok. No, it's not. I'm sorry, TikTok, but that's it's just not true. We're not redirecting anybody anywhere. As I was saying, this is a PC build directly on my website. This is the signature Intel build. So we've got an Intel i7 or Core Ultra 7 265K, 32 gigs of RAM. We got 3 terabytes of storage. Got the RTX 5070 Ti, 850 watt power supply. Got a Z890 motherboard. Nice 360 millimeter AIO from Thermalright. Some extra case fans, and then we've got the Corsair 3500X. What up, Cody? How we doing? And then for those of you who are just hopping in here, I don't know why TikTok thinks that I'm sending people to buy things in other places, because that is not the case. There is no links or anything to other websites in this live stream, so I don't know why they think that. But I am getting over a cold, and by getting over it, I mean I came down with it like Wednesday night, and I'm very much not over it, but this PC needs to be built and sent off to the customer. So here we are. We're building. We're gonna try and survive, but we're gonna probably move a little quick today, because being on my feet for 2 hours doesn't sound like an enjoyable experience right now. You know, I want to get it done so that I can go sit back down on the couch. Will I eat potatoes? Like right now? Do I eat potatoes? Yes. Do I eat Idaho potatoes because I live in Idaho? Of course. I'm very confused by your question. What up, Mark? How we doing? How much is this PC? It's on the website. I put a link onto it. It's a great question. It's hard to type with gloves on. Let's see, how much is this build? The signature PC on the website is $2,480 plus shipping, which is about 120 bucks. I'm doing pretty good. I mean, like right now I'm sick, which is not great, but overall doing good. Yeah, it has been a minute, man. How are you? Is it possible to talk about laptop after this? Because I need some suggestions. Possibly. I don't build or sell laptops, so I can give you some general pointers, but I'm not like super tied in with anything with laptops. All right, living the dream. Love to hear that. Well, let's get started on the build. We've got the MSI Mag Z890 Tomahawk Wi-Fi motherboard. MSI's their Tomahawk series are just so good. Like really good performance, really good features at a very reasonable price for a high-end motherboard. I really like these boards. Yo, what up, Soul Reaper? How we doing? It is fun, Tony. It would be more fun if I wasn't sick right now. It would be a lot more fun. I enjoy building PCs a lot more when I feel like I can breathe through my nose and don't have like a fever sweat going. That's usually a much more enjoyable experience, but we're gonna get through it. Hey, thank you guys for the subs on the tubes. Appreciate that. I love that I immediately, like as soon as we started the stream, TikTok gave me a warning for trying to like sell people things on other websites. I don't even know. They're losing their mind over there. Thank you for those likes on TikTok. Appreciate that. TikTok's very sensitive. I don't know. Ooh, MSI Arsenal Gaming. All right, is it just the one sticker? That's pretty nice. It's really nice not having a million stickers. I know, TikTok just can't let me live my life, They don't like to see me happy. What up, Maine? How we doing? Anyways, got the MSI Mag Z890. Got our Intel Core Ultra 7 265K. It's a 20-core processor. It's nuts. Granted, 8 of those are performance cores, good for gaming and stuff. And the other 12 are just E-cores. But they can still put in some work, that's for sure. Boom. 265K. Done. Installed. What's wrong with a processor, bro? All right, next we got our MP44Q 1 terabyte from Team Group. It's a nice, fast, very reasonably priced, very high quality SSD. No, TikTok, just let me live my life, man. Come on. Somebody apparently is upset with the processor choice. I don't know what that's about. I would call them out, but I honestly can't say their name. I couldn't pronounce it if I tried. But that's okay. People can have their own opinions. That's allowed. Okay. 1 terabyte. Boom. How's everybody doing today? Happy Friday. I took today off of work because I felt like crap and I sat on the couch all day. Unfortunately, I couldn't stay on the couch because, got to build this PC. Because the customers need their PCs. Yeah, what up, Tim? Apparently it's trash. I don't know. Apparently it's just garbage. Who knows? Then we got our P3 Plus. This is another 2 terabytes. 3 terabytes of storage in this beast. Wait up, Mr. Rainbow. How we doing? Billy Boz. Goes that way. How we doing? helping me pass the time on second shift. Love to hear that. Hopefully this is a calming, soothing presence as you hear me struggle to breathe. For those of you who are just rolling in, I'm trying to get over a cold unsuccessfully at the moment. How do I turn all these things to be able to play Black Ops 7? I'll have to make a video on it. I need to make something that's a little bit more comprehensive, because like some people are going to be able to just like go into their BIOS and turn the settings on, and other people might not be able to do that if they have out-of-date firmware and stuff. So honestly, the settings that you need to hit are very simple. It's just TPM, making sure that's turned on, and then secure boot, making sure that's on. But you might have to do some other stuff like updating your BIOS and whatnot to make sure that it runs properly. Can I sponsor a PC? No, I cannot. Mr. Rainbow coming in with 5 gifted memberships just right off the bat. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm dumb. Well, if you need somebody to do it for you, let me know, and we can do that. But it is thankfully fairly simple. There we go. We've got our 32 gigs of RAM. We got our 3 terabytes of storage. We got our Intel Core Ultra 7 all installed. Let's get the backplate and mounting stuff for our CPU cooler in here, and then we'll start getting some stuff in the case. Yeah, thank you so much, dude. Welcome to the 5 new members. Appreciate y'all. Heading to Micro Center this weekend. Heck yeah. What kind of system are they gonna get? Oh man, I really wish I could just breathe normally. That'd be really cool. I've been taking a lot of Sudafed, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. Which, fun fact, is made with acetaminophen, so, you know, autism or whatever. I don't know if you guys have seen all that drama and whatever about taking Tylenol, but whatever. Recommendations for a $1,000 build. For $1,000, if you're building it yourself, you could probably get like, I would go with like a Ryzen 5, like 7500F or a 9600X. You can probably get a 9060 XT 16 gig, and then, you know, all the other components. If you want like more details on like something specific, join the Discord and add that into one of the chats, and I can give you more detailed information. But I've been taking Sudafed stuff, which because you can't buy like real Sudafed anymore, it is basically just acetaminophen and some other stuff, which is Tylenol. 7700 V650. I don't love gigabyte stuff, I'm not gonna lie, but it's maybe personal bias at this point. No way this is really me. Who else would it be, silly? Who else would it be? I think we need these guys. Don't need that. Don't need that. That's for AM4, don't need that. That's for AM4, don't need that, don't need that. I think my first PC build in October. Hey, let's go. It'll be fun. 1,100 bucks total, that's not bad at all. Yeah, I hate their control software, the Gigabyte app. And then in the past, like before AM5 and stuff, they had this new like RGB header that like didn't work with like half of the like RGB fans and stuff on the market. I'm sure it's fine now, but for a while it was like you couldn't even control your RGB using gigabytes headers, which was dumb. What up, Kelly? I've never really had a problem with like their, like the quality of their stuff. I just don't like the interface on some of it. Yeah, it's a real stream, man. We're live on stream. Looks too good to be true. Like the production quality is just too incredible. Is that what you're saying? Like my cameras are just too incredible to believe that it's real. What up, Lemons? How we doing? Yo, Jay Purdue, what's up, dude? Dude, I'm excited. We're gonna be building your PC, your son's PC here pretty quick. We've got most of the components here. I'm gonna have to send off the glass panel to get engraved in the next day or so. We're gonna be on it, man. Might hit you up on the cord for help with that if I don't ignore you again. Yeah, sorry. Do I even game anymore? Occasionally. I don't really have a lot of time to game anymore, unfortunately. All right, let's get all these panels off here. I definitely don't game on stream anymore, really, as much as I would want to. It's just not a luxury that I have anymore. But I mean, a lot of times it's because I am building PCs, so I'm happy to be building PCs. I make more money building PCs than I ever did streaming, so. Okay, there we go. Who is your producer for this video? Me, myself, and I. That's who it is. You know, like people who steal streams? Oh yeah, I guess so. Nope, this account has been around for a long time. I started streaming like gaming streams and stuff back in like 2020, but I've been doing PC build streams for 2 or 3 years at least. All right, there we go. Come on, there we go. Now you're in there. How much money for this PC? This PC is $2,480 plus shipping on my website right now. Watch this. It brings me back to building your rig. X sold it out from under me. Oh man, that's a bummer. Well, sorry to hear that, but hopefully, hopefully you can get yourself a new one. Ooh, GPU support, definitely gonna want that for later. And then we've got some bolts, which we need. Need these ones. Shouldn't need those. Going to need these ones. Don't need those, right? Oh, I need these two. So those are for the GPU support. And we don't need any standoffs. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, 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 cool. Are you live somewhere else? Yeah, I'm live on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and TikTok. About a grub, perfect timing. Yeah, eat some food and watch a stream. Watch me build a cool PC. Was wondering was gonna be built. You wanted to watch? Yeah, I'll shoot you guys a message before I go live. It's gonna be early next week. I think I'm just missing like 2 parts, something like that for your build. I think I have one build in front of you guys, but I have most of the stuff for your system as well. This build was supposed to happen yesterday, but unfortunately I was not willing to get off the couch because I felt terrible. Come on, get lined up. There we go. Same profile name on Twitch? Yep, same profile name everywhere. Oh, I'm everywhere. But I do that so that you guys can watch wherever, you know, if you guys have a preferred platform to watch on, you're more than welcome to watch there. You don't have to hop around. I will say that if you watch on the YouTube horizontal, that's where I actually make ad revenue. But you're definitely not in any way forced to go there. What CPU is in here? We've got the Intel Core Ultra 7 265K. It's a 20-core Intel processor. What up, Alp? How we doing? You're tuned in. Love it. Love to hear that. If I want a PC and I could get one, you sing it? I'm assuming that's a typo. My day wasn't too bad. I mean, I have a cold right now, so I spent most of the day just on the couch. Like, I took a sick day from work and I did literally nothing so that I could get some rest. But this PC needs to be built, and unfortunately, my company is just me, myself, and I. So if I didn't build it, nobody else is going to. Okay. Let's switch on over here to our other cameras. Boom. And yeah, just know that if I sound terrible, well, I feel worse than I sound. So I don't know if that's comforting to anyone, but just know that, yeah, if I sound terrible, I'm sorry, but I also feel terrible. So fun times. Fun times. Soul Reaper, oh, you're gonna watch over here? Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate you. This PS controller's kicking my butt. Thought switching from Xbox would be easy, not so much. Like, it's just hard to get used to the layout change. Okay, we need to move all these guys over to the back side. It's always the first thing with this case. Like this. So we got daisy chain that guy back up. Daisy chain that guy back up. Yeah, I remember, because I was on Xbox for, well, like my whole life. Like, I never owned a PlayStation. So I always had Xbox controllers. And then I had bought a controller. I didn't actually use it for playing Warzone or anything, but I do use it for like a couple of random games. And it was some work for sure to like get used to the different layout and like the button names and stuff. I probably don't have memorized what button is which. Yo, what up? Niv Kema, I think what you're asking, if you wanted to order a PC for me, could you? Yes. The link right above is my website, and you can directly order pre-built PCs off there, or you can do a custom order. If you're outside of the US, we have to do custom orders because I have to factor in the increased shipping costs and, sign it? 100%. You just have to ask for it. But yeah, if you're within the US, you can order any of the pre-builts or do a custom build. If you're outside the US, you have to do custom. How do you stream both vertical and horizontal on YouTube? I have on OBS the ATEM plugin. You're in Germany. Oh yeah, so it would be expensive, unfortunately. Shipping costs plus import taxes are gonna eat you up, unfortunately. I could do it. I'm willing to do it. Be aware that it would be more expensive. So there's an ATEM vertical plugin on OBS that allows you to do vertical, canvas, and horizontal. And then on YouTube, you basically just set up two separate streams using like the stream scheduler. I've seen that YouTube is going to be putting out a new way to do like vertical and horizontal streams together with like a single chat. That would be really cool to have everyone in the same chat on YouTube. I don't know how that's going to work. Wanted to build a PC with a 5090 maybe in a month, but now the price of 5090 has gone up. I only found sales. I don't think the prices are going to go down, to be honest, Rochelle. I mean, like the 5090 is nice, but if you're not gaming in like 4K, honestly, I don't think it's worth it. If you just want like a really good, like really solid PC to game on at like 1440p and maybe some 4K, I would go with like the 9070 XT or the 5080, to be honest. I don't think it's worth getting a 5090 for like 95% of people. Would a 5070 Ti work well with the Ryzen 7 7700X? Absolutely. That GPU won't be on my first build, but I'm thinking of upgrading to that in the future. Gotcha. 9070 XT with a 9800X 3D? Bro, that's the dream combo. That's the money combo for sure. I would totally do that. Okay, so we got our USB 3. Right there. That didn't feel like it was fully seated, but it looks fully seated. Okay, there's that. And we got our USB-C is here somewhere. There we go. USB-C. It's gonna go through down here. It's usually flipped like that. There's a little extra piece of plastic on it. Cool. There's that. Got our front panel header here. Just gonna go down here at the bottom right. That's what you're running, a 9070 XT with a 9800X 3D. All right, and then let's get our HD audio. Usually I put this in first, but my brain is a little addled right now, if I'm being honest. So we went out of order. Okay, and then we actually had some extra of these RS120 fans. So we're gonna put in the two fans underneath the GPU, the one that goes down here and the one up top. So it's gonna be pretty sweet. At least that's the plan. I think these only come with 2 extensions. So I'm gonna have to go see if I have extra extensions, because I think the one on top is going to need an extension for the RGB and the other one. Let me go see if I have another extension back there, because we're gonna need it. 1 second. Let's see. What do we have back here? Not that one. Not that. That will work for RGB. These will work for the fans. I have one still in one of these boxes, maybe. Yeah. Does this one have one in the box? I'm coming back, chat. Don't worry. I'm not lost. All is well. Okay, so we'll have to use some 3-to-1s for these guys to extend them. And that will be perfectly fine. Actually, this might work for that. this will be for the RGB, and we'll be good. Okay. Ah! Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Tried streaming from OBS vertically to YouTube and it worked. Stream quality was good without any frame drop, but it wasn't in the timeline/vertical live stream flow. Huh. I don't know, because there's nothing special that you have to do for that. Like, I don't do anything special to get it into the shorts feed. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. Okay. So the way we're gonna do this is we'll connect this guy down here. These two guys will go here. We'll daisy chain these two together, and then we'll daisy chain these guys, I think, down to this guy, and then this guy up into these. So that way all of these fans are interconnected. And then we should be able to do something similar with this guy back here, at least for the RGB. Coolio, coolio. All right. The music in the background is Stream Beats by Harris Heller. He has like a lo-fi playlist, and that's what's playing right now. Because it's all non-copyright, which means I can use it everywhere and not get in trouble. Okay, so we got these guys in here. Route these out to the back. What up, Ronsky? Ron Sky. Okay, so got those through. And then these ones are gonna go into this fan. Back to the fans that we put on here. Yeah, Harris Heller is great. Do you think PC architecture will change soon from x86? I honestly don't know. I kind of doubt it will be soon. You never know. Like, it's so hard to predict, like, what the market will accept, you know? Okay, only that one went through for some reason. There we go. Yeah, we got them all through. Don't want to pull too hard on those cables because they'll pull loose. There's some random fuzz in the case. That's interesting. Okay. Get that out here. And then I want these guys to come with the case. You like the case? It's a really nice case, not gonna lie. How's your business going? Do you run any ads? How much % orders come from your live streams? I don't run any advertising, like I don't do any paid advertising. So all of my orders either come via live stream or via like just direct networking. I also have partnered content creators to help generate sales. And I would say about I don't know, 25, 30% of my orders come through that. Those ones I know for sure because they will use their discount codes, but it's hard to say for the rest of it how exactly people find me. I would like to run paid ads at some point. I just haven't done it yet. It's not something that you can just like throw on and hope and have it do well. Like you have to do it right in order for it to like really generate revenue. So I just haven't had the time to do it. The 217 is a great case too. I like Lean Lee. Hey, it's your PC. What's up, dude? Your friend recommended me? There you go. See, I get a lot of stuff through recommendations like that. Like now that I've been doing it a while, like a lot of people like, hey, this guy built my PC. You should have him build yours. You know? Okay, so that fan's installed. And then we're gonna daisy chain this up to these fans that are pre-installed in the case. And there's that guy back there. Boom. So that bottom fan is now connected to these 3 fans. And then this is gonna connect in to the other bottom 2 fans that we added in, or will add in. Did a bolt just fall off? It did, but I found it. It's okay. That's what I get for having a lazy Susan spinning around. Ad space on popular podcasts. Yeah, the problem is that costs a lot of money. Money I don't have, you know? Yeah. Okay. Let's get these guys here. So what we're gonna do, yeah. I think these are long enough we can daisy chain them down below. So we're gonna run those down. And we'll just double check if they are long enough. I'm gonna move those down here so they don't fly off. Okay, here's the RGB one. Where's the other one? Let's see if these are long enough to daisy chain them this way. Okay. All right. It's got those in there. Yeah, that'll work. Do you think the 5090 price will go lower or higher? I don't think it's going to go any lower, to be honest. Everything else has come down to MSRP, and they didn't drop the 5090 price at all. So I don't think they're going to, in my personal opinion. Refurbished CPU off Newegg. Refurbished CPUs. I mean, if they still are, if they'll warranty it for the same amount of time, sure. If not, then I wouldn't do it. If it's not still under like Intel or AMD's warranty, I wouldn't take the chance. Come on. There we go. Okay, answered all the questions I've seen. chilling and relaxing in the stream, welcome in. Appreciate that. Okay, got all those guys installed. Okay, now these guys need to get plugged in to one of these fans here, right there. Okay, now all of these fans that are in here are now daisy chained together, which is awesome. We just need to work on this fan, put it in the back. I don't know that the extensions we have are long enough to actually daisy chain this fan in, like down to here. I don't think that's going to reach. So we might have to put it into a different header, but that's fine. It's more of a convenience thing. Like that, see how that just barely reaches down to there? Like I might be able to get it to there, but getting it all the way back up to the fan, it's not gonna be good, so we're not gonna do that. We should be able to do it with the RGB side, but not the other side. Because look at this long RGB cable we got. Look at that. Okay. Yo, thank you for the subs. Appreciate that. Is DDR4 RAM still good? It's definitely still viable. It definitely does not, compete with DDR5. But it's definitely still, like, you can very much get solid performance gaming with DDR4 still. Wish I saw this before. Why is that? Before you built your own PC or what? Actually, I think I want to mount this turn 90 degrees here. Give me that bolt. I thought I wanted it that direction, but I don't. I want it this direction. This. There we go. That'll look a little cleaner. The Legion Pro 7 5090 laptops. I have zero experience with Lenovo gaming laptops, so I'm not sure I'm the right person to ask. Cheap followers, wow. Goodbye. What's the G? GPU? Hey, thank you guys for the subs. My Team Red or Team Blue? I've been a fan of Team Red for a long time. Especially right now, I think Team Red is kind of crushing Team Blue for gaming. But it doesn't mean Intel does not make good gaming PCs. I just think they're not, or gaming CPUs. I just think they're not doing as good of a job as Intel is, or as AMD is right now. We're actually gonna run this right to there. Then we'll run it to the back. I don't think I've used the MSI version of that GPU in a build before. I have built a couple of PCs with 1650s in them, but I don't know that I've used that specific one. Go. Okay, got all that to the back side. And then I don't recall if we have another daisy chain there. I don't think we do. I think we gotta use this one. So the RGB for all these fans is gonna be interconnected. The only thing, this one back fan is gonna be connected to a different fan header, but that's not a big deal. And since our CPU power cables are over here, we can actually tie this stuff up right now. I'm gonna pull this guy out of the way. i7 14700K is still going great. Definitely go AMD next time. Yeah. I mean, I'm still rocking, I have a 12700K in my streaming PC, and it still does great. Like, I've been using that same CPU for like over 3 years and have had basically no problems with it. Shove this down that little side thing there, maybe. Perfect. Okay. All right. This is a mess, I'll be honest. But we can tighten some of that down right now. Clean up a little bit of this cable management while we have the opportunity. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit more cleaned up. Got all those nice and tightened down over there. And then all this extra length, we are going to go up with here. And I think we can get a zip tie, thinner zip or cable tie through there. You want to build a streaming PC? It's really nice having it, like especially if you do, like if you're doing games and stuff, like it's pretty common for like gaming PCs to just like, you know, especially if you're playing buggy games like Warzone, like sometimes you just like you need to do a hard reset midstream, and if you try and do that on the same PC that you're streaming on, like things can go awry. So having a stream PC is definitely nice. I wouldn't say that it's necessary for most people, but it's very convenient. I mean, when I built mine, like that was what I was doing, is I was gaming and streaming games. Nowadays, I don't game on stream ever, but it is still nice to have that separation. Okay, so we got all that. This mischief is getting managed. Not quite there yet, but we're getting there. You just built a beastly gaming PC. What you got in there? Built my first gaming PC because I used to buy pre-built ones. Building my own was the best thing you've ever done. Yeah, dude. I mean, like I built like good quality PCs, but so many of those companies that build pre-builts just use garbage. Like, you know, if it's not the CPU or GPU, they're just using the cheapest thing possible because people don't know any better. And it's so disappointing, because then people see those prices and they're like, oh, well, why aren't your prices that cheap? Like, well, probably because I use good quality components. Also, I'm not some giant company that can get everything at wholesale. How much time can I stretch my 3090 at 1440p, have 5800X 3D and 64 gigs of RAM? Probably for at least another year or two. Like, I'm sure you're already seeing some, diminishing performance compared to like what it used to be, but, as long as you're still happy with what you're able to get out of it, like you don't need to change it out. The hard part with like having the 5800X 3D and stuff is that you just, with that platform, you don't have any room to upgrade. So like at that point, you know, new GPU, new CPU, new RAM, new motherboard, like you're basically having to do an entire new PC with the exception of like case and power supply, maybe CPU cooler. So, which are, you know, not super expensive things overall. It's like at that point you might as well just build a whole new system, you know, which sucks, but you know, it is what it is. Okay. That mischief is much more managed now. We can still do a little bit of cleaning up, but that's pretty solid. Let's get some power cables in there after I put this guy back in. Okay, there's all that. All right, power cables. 9800X 3D, Astral 5090, 64 gigs of RAM. Did you mean like 8 terabytes of storage? Is that what you're talking about? That's a sick PC, dude. What case is that? It's the Corsair 3500X. If you want to get one, you can go to Corsair.com and order one and use code REDNEK, R-E-D-N-E-K, and get 10% off. What if for AMD, head over an Intel CPU integration graphics next year? I'm not sure I understand that question, Bingus. Oh, the Fantex MV7, that's a sweet case. That thing is huge too. Greetings from Paraguay. What's up, Caesar? 1440p, is it 5070 Ti or 9070 XT? Personally, I would go with the 9070 XT. It performs a little bit better in most games than the 5070 Ti, and typically is around the same price, if not slightly cheaper. All right, that. Got some more cable ties and stuff. Power cable. Yeah, it's huge. I've built a PC in that case. It is massive. Yeah, I wouldn't upgrade it until you feel like you absolutely have to. Do I build PCs professionally? Yes. This is a customer PC build. He was in the Twitch chat. He might still be hanging out in the Twitch chat. But yeah, these are, anything I build live on stream is a customer PC that I sold. Wish I could show the build in the stream. Oh yeah. If you hop onto one of the other platforms, you can join the Discord and drop it in there. Why don't we have 16 terabyte SSDs already? I don't know if you can fit that much like storage on an SSD currently. I need motherboard, need that, need CPU, the other CPU, we don't need these. What assembly do you recommend more? XFX or Gigabyte? For the GPU, they're both great. I would get whichever one's cheaper, to be honest, if you're talking about the GPU. You'll have to go, if you go into my, you'll have to go into the YouTube stream. Unfortunately, I don't have the link on here. But if you go to like the YouTube vertical stream and type in !Discord, it'll pop right up. I don't have the, Botrix doesn't work on TikTok, unfortunately. It's under, it's my same name, Redneck Engineer, on all my channels. Good for you if your PC, if your monitor is 108 hertz, but your game running over 200 FPS. Yeah, it's definitely not a problem. They've shown, especially with like lower FPS screens, that it can still reduce your overall system latency by having a higher frame rate than your monitor. Above 180 hertz, like there's not really going to be any difference probably or any noticeable difference in system latency. But yeah, it's not a problem to have higher FPS output than your monitor can handle. Kind of weird having my CPU power cables going over here. They're almost never long enough to actually reach on this side. But with this motherboard, they are. Got that one. Let's get our motherboard in. I haven't seen 16 terabyte M.2s. Maybe they exist, but I haven't seen them. And yeah, maybe it is only for like enterprise stuff. I actually, you know what? I thought I saw Sabrent put out a 16 terabyte one at one point on like Linus Tech Tips channel. They reviewed it. Motherboard power cables in here. Okay. to think I started to go with the NV9. I've built a PC, speaking of giant cases, I've built one PC in the Corsair Obsidian 1000D, I think is the model name. It literally has like 16 fans standard in that thing. It's crazy. The case itself weighs like 90 pounds with nothing in it. All right, there's all that. Let's get the stickers off here. Usually one more somewhere, I think. Maybe just the one on ASRock, okay. 12 in the MV7, yeah. Okay, so this is gonna sit like this. So we've got this guy here. CPU power cables there. Oh, it's a different interface? Gotcha. What up, Dave? How we doing? Okay, GPU power cable fully seated in there. Got this thing in here. Tight fit, getting it in there. I'm getting squished. Thought there'd be enough space for that. I think we're okay. There we go. Power supply bolts. Is there a point in undervolting the CPU? It could be useful if your temps are a little high. I know AMD does really well with undervolt, like a mild undervolt, to give yourself a little more like thermal headroom. I don't do like overclocking and stuff though, so I'm not super well versed in that. Built once in the Fantex N through Prime for a friend, and that was a pretty huge case. Yeah, it is. Same show, different donkeys. So annoyed that getting a new laptop is so hard right now. It seems like all the custom build options. Yeah, they don't, custom laptops are not a thing anymore. The form factors and how small they've gotten just does not lend itself to like custom builders doing laptops, you know? It's just not really a thing anymore. All right, I don't think we have space to run that cable through there, so I think we'll run it over here. So we're gonna run our GPU power cable out through there. And I think at this point we're ready to plug in our CPU cooler. So let's do that. What's high for the 9800X 3D? I mean, if you're not able to maintain like lower to mid 70s, I would say it's running a little hot. Either too low powered or like 3 to 4K. Yeah. Yeah, there isn't a lot of in-betweens I've found, like looking through stuff on laptops. Or like even finding like a mid-range model that isn't like 1080p still is crazy. It's crazy how hard it is to find that stuff. Undervolt your 5800X 3D, yeah. I think it's pretty common for people to do with their AMD CPUs, especially the X3D ones, just because they do tend to run a little bit hotter. I think it has to do with the location of that 3D V cache. It makes it a little bit harder to keep them cool. Yo, Jay, what's up? Thank you so much for the roses. How was your stream today? And some more roses. Y'all, J9 is the best. Literally like the sweetest human being you could ever meet. Pretty good. I am in the throes of a cold. So you got some nice fever sweat going on. It's really, really fun. But the build is going well, so there's that. Yeah, it's all good. I don't feel terrible right now. This morning was a little bit rough, but it is what it is. Oh, we got a pretty sick build today, so that's fun. I need to like lever it up from this side. Yeah, like that. I think I might put it back to the original settings. Are you having some troubles with yours? Those little hangers are kind of nice. I don't know if that's an update or if I've just never noticed them before. Yeah, overall I'm doing great, Jay. Had some PC sales come in the last couple weeks, so we've been working hard to fulfill them and working on a really cool video pretty soon. I actually have a couple of buddies here in town that are like professionals when it comes to like producing and filming and editing. So they're gonna be helping me with my next YouTube video. So I think the quality of my long form videos are gonna be really, really cool going forward here. Yeah, keeping busy on the PC front is always nice. That is 100% true. It's always a bummer when you're like, okay, I would love to stream, but no PCs to build. All right, there we go. Get that going. Get all of our little bolts out here, or at least some of them, so I can get this thing holding itself up. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you undervolted it and then now you want to see if that's actually making a difference. Yeah, I would definitely do like a Cinebench run or something before and after, or like an OCCT run, just to see if it's making any difference for you. Jay, are you going to Loot Fest this year? Definitely missed you last year. You were playing COD today, weren't you, Jay? I think I saw that. Not 100% sure. That's fair. How'd it go? Were you playing some like subs rebirth, or what was on the docket today? ADC though with Cinebench is not bad, because like, let's be honest, in gaming and normal use, like you're never using 100% CPU load like that, 100% CPU power. So if you're keeping it like 80 in that, then like you're gonna be solid pretty much the rest of the time. Okay, that is in there. Shouldn't need to do anything else up on top, so we'll put this guy back on. And then all those cables, did I go too high? Why does that feel so tall? Okay, got a 3-to-1, I don't think we need that. All right, let's hook up all of our fan cables, like so. Okay, and then these are actually kind of on the side. Well, we could go over the top for that one. CPU fan header, right here. Boom. There's our pump fan header. Just regular rebirth went good. Also love to hear about the editing. I really hope so too, because like I think that's been one of our biggest, like one of my biggest struggles. Like besides like needing a good editor, which like I haven't really had a great editor for a while. But besides that, it's just like for the type of videos I'm wanting to make, like doing all of like planning out all of the shots, planning everything out, just like story wise, it's a lot, and like it's not like what I'm best at. And so having a team there to help me through all that, and do all the editing, and having like an actual like cameraman to do stuff, like versus me just trying to like move a camera every like 5 minutes to oh, there's no RGB ports up here. Well, good thing we've got this 3-to-1 up here, because we can just do that. Boom. I think it's going to be a huge difference in terms of the quality of the, oh, that like doesn't even do anything, does it? In terms of just like the quality of the content I'm able to put out. Here we go, that's stuck. So I'm really excited. Okay. All that stuff is plugged in now. Okay. I'll get all this stuff tightened down in a minute, but let's get the CPU cooler block in. Editing is just so much time consuming. I hate doing it. I don't spend the money on an editor. Yeah, well, like that's when I started working with Tia a while back, because I was spending so much time having to edit, and my wife was like, "You're spending too much time working on this business. What can you do to like reduce that time?" And I was like, well, the first thing and the easiest thing is like I could pay an editor and have them take all that time to edit my videos. And so that's when I started working with Tia, just to like not be working 80 hours a week to try and put out content and stuff. What are you building here so I can let David, Mr. Tech know? Okay, so this is the signature Intel build that's on my website. So we've got a Core Ultra 7 265K. There's gonna be a 5070 Ti. We've got 3 terabytes of storage, 32 gigs of RAM, a bunch of Corsair fans. These are the ones that like come with the case. And then we've added 4 extras, MSI Mag motherboard, and then we've got a Thermalright CPU cooler that has an LCD screen on it, and an 850 watt power supply. What up, Riper? Well, perfect. I just answered your question too. That's what we're working on. All right, and we're mixing up some thermal grease here. And we're gonna slap that on the CPU. Okay. Get all the excess off of my spatula. And we'll smooth this down. How's David doing? Honestly, it's great to see you at Loot Fest, but David and I like really hit it off when we met at Loot Fest, and I don't know how to say this, but I miss David. Pretty good build, stealth build. It doesn't have, oh, it's got a ton of RGB. Riper, thank you so much for the $20 dono, you maniac. Yeah, Jay, this is a freaking killer build for sure. It's always sad when I'm building PCs that are nicer than mine. Granted, I have thousands of dollars in water cooling stuff on mine, but the actual components now are a little bit older. Said you missed me too? Aww. Good, I'm glad I wasn't just one-sided there. Okay. Thermal paste applied. Plastic removed. Warning, remove before installation. If you guys haven't seen my most recent, or one of my most recent TikToks, you won't get the joke, but that's okay. Actually, I like the bottom one. Do the bottom one first. Okay, that one is definitely on. Okay, that one's on too. And if you guys aren't watching my short form content, how dare you? How dare you? Phone's gonna die, so I have to throw it on the charger, but I hope you have a great night. Hey, thank you, Jay. Thank you so much for hopping in and for the gifts. Appreciate you. Hopefully we'll see you soon. About to do a 5090 build. Let's go. I know, like I could build myself a crazy PC. The problem with my system is I went full custom water cooling in my system. So I would have to buy a new GPU block for any new GPU I put in there, and run new cables for it, or sorry, run new tubing for it, because it likely will not have ports in the exact same spot. So, you know, it's kind of a pain to just like, I can't just like willy-nilly replace stuff like I would be able to in any normal system. Which is probably my own fault, but I really like having the custom water cooling. Yes, this is the 3500X. Okay, that's all plugged in. Now we just gotta get this guy in here. And this guy is over on the left for whatever reason. Yeah, water cooling is definitely scarier, 100%. Like, there's a lot more stuff to go wrong in a water-cooled build. Okay, so we're gonna run that down over there. Can I fit this in here behind these fans? I mean, I can fit it in there, but can I get my fingers in there to put it in behind these fans? Sorry, you guys don't get to see this because I'm gonna concentrate here on this one. This small space, and I don't want to have to pull those fans out. There we go. Okay. All right, so we got our USB 2 in for our CPU cooler. We're gonna have to tie that down. Let's get a couple of zip ties in here. Maybe better zip ties than that one. H9 high flow. This is the Corsair 3500X. Zoo the dash. Oh shoot. Well, we'll do this one again, I guess. Put that down there a little prematurely. I forgot to run it through. They have a nice little like cable tray here that sort of hides everything, so I'm gonna put it down there. If I can, it'll let me. Come on. Could you just go through there, please? Okay, that worked. Okay. Get to put this back in there one more time. I mean, we did it once, we can totally do it again, right? If we did it once, we can do it twice. There. See? Told you we could do it. Okay, and this is part of our CPU cooler. We'll put that into there. Okay. All that stuff is now plugged in, which means I can now work on the cable management for this up here. Okay. Bring all that stuff together to one nice little bundle. Oops, I pulled that out. Well, let's zip tie this together and then we'll deal with that cable I just pulled out. Okay. Pull this back over to here. Okay. All right. Got all that. Now we just got to start bundling that in. To the rest of our cable management tray. I'm so afraid of water cooling building. I think I'm gonna mess it up. I was going to build my PC with that case, i7-14700F and 5070. I want Ryzen, but I have the motherboard, sadly. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like the 14700 is still a good gaming CPU. Like personally, you know, obviously if you're starting from scratch, I would recommend with AMD, but like, I don't think you're gonna have any like complaints with that system, you know? Okay, there we go. I probably could have tied that up there, huh? Why is this so hard to do? There we go. Here we go. Okay. It's a lot of cable or zip ties in this build, but there's a lot of small cables. All right, there we are. All that stuff is in there and installed. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Let's get our GPU in here. Probably need a plumber's degree for it. It is a lot of extra knowledge for doing a water-cooled system. You need a white GPU if you do a white case. No. One thing that I've done a few times that I think looks really good is doing a white case, but then with dark internals. It's like you do the white case, but then you have like black motherboard, black GPU, maybe even like black CPU cooler, and I think a lot of times those look really good. Okay, RTX 5070 Ti. Oh, the one thing we need to do before we do that is we need to put our GPU support bracket in here. Something I almost forgot about. This is a built-in support bracket that comes with the case, which is very nice. Just pop it in right there. And it's hidden behind all of these cables. That's okay. So this was a part-time for you. When would you say it is time to make it a full-time job? When it can replace my engineering salary? I've been an engineer for over 10 years. So it's going to take a lot to try to replace that. All right, now our GPU support's in there. Two 200mm Chromax Noctua fans, nice. I love Noctua. All right, get this plastic off the GPU. There's a lot of. Get off this side first. Boom. There's all that plastic off. None on the fan centers. Cool. Yeah, Riper, I mean, unfortunately, we're just like not anywhere close to replacing my salary for my day job. You gotta sell a lot of computers to get anywhere near that. Because I don't have super high markups where every PC that I build makes me tons of money. So I have to sell a lot of computers in order to make a good amount of money from it, you know? Handheld computers like the ROG Ally, I've been wanting to try those out. They seem really cool. I've never owned one, just because like I don't spend enough time gaming, but I think they would be really cool. And they seem fairly powerful for how small they are. Okay, got that. And then we can do our GPU support here. Why doesn't that want to move? Is there something stuck behind it that won't let it move? Oh, there is. Those cables got kind of jammed behind there, didn't it? There we go. Not sure how that cable got back there, but it's fine. Okay. Now our GPU support should move just fine. Interesting. Okay. I actually had to do this on a different customer system, so we'll just do it again. But the built-in like little rubber support is coming into contact with the fan for the GPU. So what we can do is we can actually like cut out some of the rubber support so that it doesn't contact the fan, and then we should be good. So cut it out right about there. So I've got a little razor blade, and we will cut that out so that we can still use our built-in one. So I'm just gonna cut that little piece there. And we'll take this front half off. Ideally. Just like that. Okay. And the case, I think, actually came with like an extra little piece of something, but I don't know if I can find it. Let's see if that fixes it. Nope. That did not fix it. There was an extra little piece of rubber that came with the case. Maybe it's in here? No? I gotta find it real quick. Oh, it's in here. I see it. Just a tiny, tiny little piece of rubber with some with some 3M adhesive on it. Okay. That should hopefully make the rubber tall enough to not hit the GPU. We're doing all this even though the GPU is not that heavy, and so it really probably doesn't need a support, but since the support comes with the case and stuff, it's, you know, it's a good idea to do it. Nope. Well, that support is just not going to work for this GPU, I guess. So we'll just have to take it out. I was hoping it would work. Because we've been able to get those to work before with most GPUs, but unfortunately on this one, it just isn't going to work. MSI did provide their own stand, so we'll check and make sure there's a good spot to put that. So, get this little built-in stand from MSI. I think we could put somewhere back here maybe. That hits the fan there too. Just don't really give us a lot of options here. There we go, we can just stick it on top of that fan. So, putting it right there, all the fans are gonna spin free now, and the GPU won't sag. So there we go. Not ideal, but considering the fan, or the GPU is super light, it's not a big deal. But at least there's an option there. Can you overspend on a GPU? Yes. There are certain models that are significantly more expensive for basically no performance gain. There's also like, you know, if you plan on using it for certain things and like you don't need, you know, more performance, like buying a 5090 or something just like doesn't make sense for how you're using the system. Like that's another way to overspend on a GPU. Buying a white GPU, typically you're gonna be overspending on it. Rumors say this December, but we'll see. Yeah, that's what I've heard too, Riper, is this December, or like, yeah, late this year. Only parts that I need for my build are the AIO and the GPU. Can't decide if I want the RTX 5070 Ti or the expensive 5080. Yeah, the gap is pretty big nowadays. Honestly, the 5070 Ti is awesome. Like I don't think you'll have any complaints playing any game at 1440p with it. If you're wanting to play 4K, that's, you know, maybe a different discussion. But at 1440p, the 5070 Ti is gonna do everything you could want it to. The white and black specs are the same. For GPUs here, it tends to be more expensive to get the white GPUs. Other components, you can get them for pretty much the same price, but GPUs, they tend to be a little bit more pricey. And sometimes power supplies, if you want a power supply with white cables. What up, Curry? The nice thing is my day job is retirement. Oh, that sounds nice. I want to be retired, but unfortunately, I'm still really young. All right, cable management. Good, good. And here we have it, chat. A signature Intel gaming PC. Direct from redneckengineer.com for all your gaming needs. Who wants to see this bad boy fired up? If you want to see this thing get fired up, I want to see your favorite emoji in the chat right now. Yo, what up, Modavga? I wasn't sure if you were still in here. Isn't this thing sick? It's gonna look so cool with the we've got this LCD screen on the AIO. Oh, it's gonna look so good. Yes, please, he says. Favorite emojis in the chat, right meow. Right meow. Let's see them. Throw those emojis in there. The squirrel and the nuts, love it. Ooh, got the Easter Island. Nice, nice. All right, I'm gonna dim the lights, give you guys another few seconds here to drop in your favorite emotes, then we'll fire this baby up. I know a couple more of you got some emotes ready. Nice, Modavka, I love that. All right, so as a reminder, here's what's in this system. We've got a Intel Core Ultra 7 265K. We got 32 gigs of RAM, 3 terabytes of storage, RTX 5070 Ti, got an 850 watt power supply, the Thermalright Vision 360, complete with LCD screen, MSI Mag Z890 Tomahawk Wi-Fi, and then the Corsair 3500X with all matching Corsair RS120 fans in the case. And then of course Thermalright has their own fans. But it's an awesome build, and super excited that the customer was able to come in and watch his PC being built live. You guys can do that too if you want to order your own. First ever power on. It's the man with the plan. What's up, Patrick? Yep, 5070 Ti, 50 series build. Love it, Riper. It's great. Doing some memory training. I think we might have messed up a couple of our power plugs. Might have to check that. What's the wattage pull on the 50 series? I don't remember off the top of my head. I think the 5070 Ti is around 250 watts, 280 watts. I know the 5090 can pull upwards of 600 watts. It's like 5 something standard. The 5080 is in the like 380 to 400 range. I think the 5070 Ti is around 300, if I remember right, just below 300. So a couple of our fan lights didn't kick on. So let's figure that out. Let's figure that out. They might have just gotten unplugged. That all looks good. Seems like it's everything downstream of like this fan here. That's plugged in. Because this fan was not, RGB was not on either, was it? Oh, yep. That came unplugged. That's gonna be a fun one to try and reach. I hate RGB cables. Like the header or the connectors they use on RGB cables are just the absolute worst. Okay, I can push that back to that side. This guy, yeah, that guy just comes off. Okay. Okay. So there's that guy. So this guy came unplugged. Do I have any more? Yeah, I do have some more length over there. Okay, cool. So if I have enough length, I can just pull this guy through. Okay, that's plugged back in. Okay, then the other one was that this other fan, let's flip the power off real quick. This fan was not spinning. Which is really unfortunate because that's the hardest one to find, or see, I should say. All right, let's turn these lights back on. See, fun times. You guys get to hang out extra long when stuff like this happens. I think pushing the power supply in might have pulled that cable apart. Because I can't see it. So let's just pull the power supply out real quick. Shouldn't need to unplug anything from it. We just pull it out and then check on that cable and then put it back in. Super simple, super quick. My Ventus 2X2 3060 started to get hot and idle. Yeah, the thermal pads are probably worn out. And I mean, it's not probably not under warranty anymore, so you might as well pull it apart and fix it, you know? Okay. Yep, that got unplugged. Okay, I think we need to run these at least the power side, the cables inside over the top here. I think there just isn't enough room for that power supply to slide in under there. Okay, so got that side up. And cable is on this side. Okay. Marry those two together. This is like the one downside of Corsair making the fan cables really short for their RS120 fans. They used to be really long cables, which was kind of a pain to deal with, but it made it very easy to route everything because you had super long cables, but that's okay. There we go. Now we should be good to go. Fix the RGB. Fix the fan that wasn't spinning in the span of like 4 minutes. Look at us go. Budget $550 suggests you a good setup for gaming. At 550 bucks, honestly, you're probably better off looking for something used or buying, or at least buying some of the components used, because it's not a lot of budget for a modern gaming PC, if I'm honest. Okay, stick this guy back on there. Boom. Put this guy back on there. Might be premature, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Okay. Now, first ever power on with all the RGB and fans working, hopefully. Oh! We did it! Wow! We know what we're doing! Wow! Yeah, like Facebook Marketplace is a great spot. Or I've heard good things about Jawa, Jawa.gg. Dude, 600 watts from a GPU is wild, especially with these tiny freaking cables. It's a terrible, honestly, it's kind of a terrible design on their part. Look at that. All the fans are working, all the RGB is working. It's lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I do kind of want to tighten this up a little bit. Since we're here, I would have done this later off stream, but you know, whatever. Whatever. Throw a little cable tie around it to hold it tight. Here we go. That's a little better. Oops. I pressed the power button. I want that PC, how do I buy? You don't just get a discount for asking for it, but you can go to redneckengineer.com and order this one right off the website. It's called the Intel Signature PC. Where is Hatsune Miku from Temu? I don't know. That LED on the AIO working, looking good. I know, right? Just wait until it's got like a sweet little background image and it's displaying like the CPU temp and stuff. Ooh, it's gonna be solid. What's up, Walking Phoenix? Might go for the RTX 5080 Supreme. Ooh, okay. You thinking like the liquid version one or just the standard Supreme? I mean, you can't buy this exact PC, Jorgito, but you can buy one exactly like it if you go to the website. The standard one, gotcha. The one from the last live, I think. Is that a person? I'm not sure what you're talking about. You can do 4K gaming with good FPS, to be honest. 5090 is overkill, but to each their own. Yeah, for sure. And honestly, like, you're not gonna get any real performance boost out of buying the like overclocked whatever version of a GPU. It's such a minimal amount of difference that it's not worth the extra couple $100, in my opinion. If you just want it because it looks really cool, sure, but like I'm not gonna quote those in any of my builds for people, like unless somebody asks for it specifically or needs like a white one. I will use whatever is available and at a reasonable price because performance-wise, they're just doesn't make a difference really. Looks incredible. Hey, I'm glad you like it, dude. Yeah, it looks great. And yeah, so I said it earlier in the stream, and I don't think you were in here yet, but I had a couple extra fans. So like, well, I had one extra fan sitting around, and since the packs come in threes, I was like, well, with the one extra fan, we can actually throw these fans down here. So normally I don't do that, but since I had one, I was like, let's do it. So usually this system comes with the three on the side, one on the bottom, one on the back, and then the AIO. But since I had the extra laying around, we threw those in there too. So now you're getting fresh air to the GPU. I would do this in a laptop, be able to upgrade it instead of just buying a new one. I wish there were as good ways to do that. The only laptop brand I know that can do anything like that is Framework. Framework like design their stuff so that you can swap stuff in and out pretty easily, and they have guides on how to do that. So if you want a laptop that you want to be able to upgrade and not just throw away, I would look at them. It's expensive, don't get me wrong, but if that's kind of what you're looking for, I would do it. Hey, you're welcome, man. Yeah, that's the build tonight, folks. We're gonna get to work on updating the BIOS, installing Windows, updating all the drivers, all the usual stuff. But as far as the build goes, it is finite. It is complete. Oh, Joker, it's good to see you. I'm sorry you missed it too. Maybe you can go back and watch the build because it was a good one. Yeah, that is the end of the build. I know I've said it in here before, but we're gonna do a quick little plug here. If you want Corsair products, Corsair.com, use code REDNECK, REDNEK, and you'll get 10% off. If you want incredible RGB control software, Signal RGB is a great option for you. And I do have a discount code or a discount link in the YouTube description if you want to get the Pro version, which has some really cool features in there. And last, if you need a PC, look no further. RedneckEngineer.com. Order yourself a PC. Take a look at the pre-builts. Fill out the custom build form if you don't see anything that's quite to what you're wanting in the pre-builts. and you'll get to see your PC built live on stream. All right. Hey, Ahmad, it's good to see you. I appreciate you, Born. All right, y'all. That is the end of the stream. I need to get working on the software stuff for this build, and we'll get this thing shipped out of here probably sometime tomorrow. Have the photo of the live I was talking about. You'll have to send it in like Discord or something because you can't put it on here. All right, y'all. Have a great night. Thank you all so much for chatting, for watching. Thank you to Mr. Rainbow, gave some memberships, and I think, was it Riper that dropped $20 dono. Riper, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. And I know she's gone, but J9 dropped some hearts and roses and stuff in the TikTok stream, so I appreciate that as well. Have a great night. Love you all. We'll see you on the next build. We will definitely have at least one build, I think 2 builds coming in hot next week. And we're working on some sweet long form stuff, so stay tuned. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, 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 bye.